Hello ladies and gentlemen, the time is ripe because we are already getting new Dragon Ball game announcements with several new characters already announced for Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra already. That means we're on the precipice of reveals for every other game already. Again, Gekishin Squadra is getting stuff, that means Sparking Zero is getting stuff, Xenoverse is getting stuff, and the new FighterZ is getting stuff too. This is potentially either a massive update to Dragon Ball FighterZ, kind of like the one we got ages ago, or potentially even FighterZ 2. But before we jump the gun, let's talk about the new Dragon Ball announcements we have for today and what we can expect throughout the week and the year until we get to Dragon Ball Battle Hour, where all of the reveals will be at their full power. Hello everyone, it's me again, Steve Dojo here, back to more Dragon Ball news, and we're going to start off with this Sparking Zero smaller post real quick. It's a very small post, but it does give us an insight as to what the newer game announcements are going to be, and then we'll be moving on to Sparking Zero, as well as Gekishin Squadra and the other games themselves. So we have a very small post here from Bandai Namco Dragon Ball Sparking Zero that actually mentions the Dragon Ball Battle Games Hour 2026 comes back to Los Angeles on the 18th to the 19th of April 2026. Now, obviously, again, this is the date, this is the companies involved, this is all the stuff that's going to happen, and they have said that created the ambition of sharing the latest news and announcements on the Dragon Ball universe. The Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour will have its 6th edition packed to the brim with Dragon Ball Games content. In addition to special announcements and content, the event will pit players of games such as Dragon Ball FighterZ and many more against each other. The event also includes booth exhibits and merchandise sales, as well as stage events, notably featuring Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Stage events. So I think that tells you all you need to know. Stage events are a pretty good place for them to showcase obviously new stuff, as well as allow people to try out and play things early. And for Sparking Zero, we imagine that the DLC would probably come out way before this happens. I mean, if we had to wait all the way to April just to get Daima SJ4 Goku, that would be a very, 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 very long wait. And I don't think anyone would find that funny. So this will most likely be for the new wave of content that they announced at Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour itself. If any of you live in Los Angeles, you probably want to go down to this event and go capture some footage. That might be great for your YouTube channel, you know? But this sounds like a place where they're actually going to reveal new stuff, and I cannot wait to see what that new stuff will be. Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour can be attended for free with attendance details available in the website link. So there you go. I'm going to link this page in the description. You guys please make sure you go check that out, especially if you live in the area. You probably want to go down to the event since it's going to be free, and since you'll have a new chance to play new characters in Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra, as well as new characters in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. One thing that's important to say that announcements for Dragon Ball games have already started, so pretty much starting from today and onward, we're just going to see anything new come up for either Sparking Zero, FighterZ, Xenoverse 2, pretty much anything, because Gekishin Squadra, which is the new game that's coming out, already had a trailer teasing more characters. We already got Cell in a cinematic trailer, and now we got a trailer for Hit and Android 17. But in that trailer for Hit and Android 17, I think you can actually see Gamma 1 as well. So we know Gamma 1 is one of the playable characters in the game too, and that obviously leads us to only one more playable character after that. And if it's based on types, we know Cell is supposed to be the tank type, and the two technical types are obviously 17 and Hit, because it straight up said that's what they are, which means the two last attack types are Gamma 1 and someone else. So it might be a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to claim that the last new character has to be someone like Broly as an attack character. Maybe DBS Broly, because Z Broly could probably be seen more as a tank. But since they're going by character types, it's really easy to tell who's going to be what type based on pretty much like how they move for the most part. Again, Gamma 1 is very strong. He's from DBS superhero, so him being an attack type makes sense. Who knows what the last attack type could be? I want to say DBS Broly because I didn't think they would add a superhero character into the game yet, and if they did, that means they have to have a DBS Broly character in as well. You can't have one movie and not have the other movie. That does feel a bit weird, so maybe it'll just be Raffle Broly that goes Super Saiyan, or maybe it'll just be Raffle Broly standalone, the same way how First One Frieza standalone. So you guys let me know what you think about the last Gekishin Squadra character. Either way, let's talk about how the other games benefit from, you know, these new announcements to their system. So Gekishin Squadra coming out is doing a lot for every other Dragon Ball game already, because there's a pre-registration campaign, as well as most likely what's going to be a collab update after the game comes out as well. And Sparking Zero, oh boy, where do we even start with that game? Well, I will say I am pretty optimistic for what Sparking Zero is going to show, even though I most likely know it's just going to be Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, as well as Daima SJ3, you know, Vegeta, all that stuff. They might, see, that's the issue. They might make a new preset that is just Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, unless if they update Z Vegeta to have Super Saiyan 3 as an option. But then they would also have to give him a Daima accurate costume, and they already don't give out costumes. And are they going to just update Z and Goku to have Daima SJ4 as a last transformation? Or is Daima SJ4 just going to be a standalone like 9 DP character or something? Because I have no idea how Sparking Zero intends to do this because of the way they've handled the rest of the game. I don't know if they're going to add this as a extra form to existing characters, because when they did it with Daima SSJ Goku, you have to pick a different preset, like a different selection, just to get Super Saiyan as a transformation on him. but then you can just pick the transformed version standalone. And it's just so weird. I have no idea how they're going to do this, but either way, I expect them to announce something to do with Diamond SJ4, probably before the game show or Dragon Ball Battle Hour actually goes live, because that is way too long to wait just for Diamond SJ4 and like King Goma and like Vegeta. So they'll probably announce it and release it before then, and then when Battle Hour happens, they'll most likely go, by the way, here are some more DLC and updates we're doing now that you guys are here, and they'll probably announce a bunch of free stuff like, you know, customizable costumes, customizable coloring for characters, customizable auras, you know, more capsules for the game, more what if story modes. Maybe they'll actually have a story like campaign expansion, because I was very disappointed when we got the superhero DLC and there was not an updated story for either Gohan or Piccolo. That just felt like a waste to me. Like, you could easily do that and it would be just more stuff for players to do, because when you only give characters, they play them online for like a little bit and then they get bored of them. But if you give them a story mode, they would at least play it for more than an hour, which is, I don't know, I just feel like they make really weird decisions with Sparking Zero. So I'm hoping to see some very bright, you know, colorful, great announcements at Battle Hour. I'm not saying anything with FighterZ 2 is concrete or it's going to happen for sure, but it's kind of curious that FighterZ is being brought up again. Bandai Namco seemed very okay with just kind of not mentioning FighterZ ever again, especially since Oxus moved on to, you know, work on Marvel Tour consoles, as well as still upgrade to as well as still updating Guilty Gear Strive, since Guilty Gear Strive is moving into another season of DLC. I'm not sure if they're going to do that for FighterZ, but if Strive has enough time to move into another season of DLC while they're working on tour consoles, maybe they do just have a really big team over there, or the team is just a bunch of workaholics. So they might still have some work to like lend over to FighterZ, you know. We still don't have Beast Gohan Orange Piccolo, and I'm very sure they know that Diamond SJ4 will make a boatload of money by himself, especially because we never actually got SJ4 Goku playable. Even though people really wanted it, because we got GT Goku when he turns into SJ4, but we didn't actually get a playable SJ4 until obviously SJ4 Gogeta, but let's be real, that's different to Goku. So I am actually curious if they'll come back to that and actually want to tackle the idea of adding more to Dragon Ball FighterZ, as well as adding, because they could just update, they could just do some simple updates. Maybe there'll just be some patches, a new, you know, buffs and nerfs for characters. Maybe they'll add a new game mode or something. Like, remember when they updated party matches in Dragon Ball FighterZ and arena matches and all those ring matches and all that stuff? They do actually update. When they update the game, they update it big time. So I'm curious to see if we're going to be getting an announcement for FighterZ 2 or some sort of like just version change upgrades to FighterZ, like maybe Dragon Ball FighterZ 3.0 or something. The next thing I wanted to talk about, obviously, was Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Now, Xenoverse 2 doesn't have like a Xenoverse 3 coming around the corner or anything. I don't think we're going to get both parts of the Future Saga DLC before the year ends. I think we're only going to get one. We're going to get Future Saga Chapter 3 most likely before this year ends, because, you know, Christmas is coming up. That'd be a perfect time to, you know, sell the DLC, because everyone will have money, or at least children will ask their parents for it, right? So I think we'll get Future Saga Chapter 3 this year. Maybe April is when they announce Future Saga Chapter 4, because again, they take a very long time between DLCs to release stuff for Xenoverse 2 now. The game is, you know, it's reaching its 9-year anniversary this year, and its 10-year anniversary next year, so by the time Future Saga Chapter 4 comes out, or by the time they tell us what they're going to do after Saga 4, or if they're going to do Xenoverse 3, the game would have been 10 years old, and that's absolutely nuts. Can you think of another game that's kind of been on your radar for like 10 years, or you've been playing actively for 10 years? Let me know if you have. Let me know if there's a game you've been playing up for like 10 years in the comment section down below, or it'd be like Destiny, like even from Destiny 1 to 2 counts, because they're part of the same like series, right? Just let me know in general. I think that's actually really interesting that Xenoverse 2 is that old. Maybe they could actually tell us what happens after Saga 4 when we get to Battle Hour, because they could still go, oh, Future Saga Chapter 4, but also hyping up something else after that. You know, I can't remember a time Xenoverse 2 has just not hyped up. Well, other than DLC 12, I think, which made it seem like the game was completely over, and then it wasn't over, it kept going. So, yeah, they could possibly announce more stuff, and even if they don't, we know this game is Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. It will most likely keep getting content, especially because the 7-year anniversary for the game was a massive free update that added the Ultra Instinct and stuff. So I can completely expect them to add something for the 10-year anniversary, because the number 10 is a big number. So I'm very sure they'll do something cool for the 10-year anniversary for the game, even if there's no more paid DLC content. Now, when I think of Xenoverse 2, it does remind me that the service of Xenoverse 2 and Breakers has already ended, like the cross-link service they have. Not to mention, there is no end date on the current tier in Dragon Ball The Breakers. The only end date we have for when all of this, you know, new Breaker stuff is going to end is in like over 200 days, which is, you know, that's very long. Don't get me wrong, Breakers updates feel like they take 200 days to happen, but they don't. They take like 50, 90 maybe. Still a long time, but nowhere near 200. So it makes me believe that 100% Dragon Ball The Breakers is most likely over with. Another reason why it's not being mentioned at the most recent Dragon Ball Battle Hour trailer, it doesn't even get like a slight mention. Like, bro, Dragon Ball card games are getting mentions. Dokkan and Legends are getting mentions, and they're mobile games. Breakers is a console release game, and it didn't even get mentioned there, so it's most likely cooked. Another thing is that the Gekishin Squadra pre-registration rewards actually didn't have Dragon Ball the Breakers in them. Now, there was a separate post made by the official Breakers account themselves. They said that they're going to get rewards for the game if you get Gekishin Squadra. But the fact that the official Dragon Ball Twitter account didn't say it is funny, because that means they probably didn't even remember Breakers existed. And then they quickly put something together and had the Breakers account tweet out, hey, we're getting something too, by the way, so stay tuned. It's kind of hilarious. Some people are probably going to point out, well, Steve, Kakarot's not there, so I guess that means Kakarot doesn't have any, DLC announcements and it's going to end soon. Well, no, because we already know that Daima DLC Part 2 is going to be a thing. There's nothing new to announce. The most new thing they could announce is showing us a trailer, sure, but knowing how long it takes to make Kakarot DLC, there's no way that trailer is going to be, like, ready anytime soon. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't drop a Battle Hour, but if it does, hey, bonus points. Just wanted to give my final thoughts and feelings on this, but you guys let me know again what you think in the comment section down below, because I cannot wait for all of the Dragon Ball stuff that will be eventually getting out of this. And without further ado, that is a good place to end the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe, as it greatly supports the channel. And leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next, fellas. I do love you all, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take care and peace.